Greetings, guys, and welcome to Free Yourself. This is a SwagHer Magazine production. We are so excited that you have taken this time out to tune into this good word that you'll be receiving this evening. If you have a minute, please go on and share the broadcast with your network so that they can be tuned in and as knowledgeable and as informed as you will be this evening. This is presented by SwagHer Magazine, which the event is an event dedicated to celebrating the richness of our Black heritage and the ongoing journey of Black people in the United States. As an empowerment and lifestyle magazine, SwagHer caters to intentional Black women who embrace authenticity and excellence. This Juneteenth, we unite to honor our history, revel in our progress, and uplift our community. With a lineup of esteemed speakers and poets, the event will explore the themes of liberation and Black pride from diverse and profound perspectives. Join us as we celebrate our Blackness and the unyielding spirit that propels us forward. This event is sponsored by, and let me pull up our sponsors really quickly. 1 second. Okay, sorry. I want to make certain y'all can see this on the screen at the same time. But this event is sponsored by Brunch with Boys podcast, which is a podcast filled with intense and transparent discussions amongst real men, Black men, may I add, keeping it real about life and relationships over really good food. You can check out their podcast at the link that is strolling across the bottom of the screen. And I'm also going to go on and bring in our first poet of the evening. Lady V will be opening us up. And just to tell you all a little bit about Lady V, really quickly, Davita Williams Pugh, aka Lady V the poet, is a certified event planner and an advocate for quality creative expression. She is the author of 5 poetry collections, hostess of the Art Out Loud open mic and Do You Lyric Lounge open mic variety show in Atlanta, Georgia, and owner of Lady V Productions LLC, a live entertainment entity for independent performing artists. Her most notable awards in her career are 2023's ATL's Hottest Spoken Word Artist and Best Event Specialist 2018. Her goal is to inspire, educate, and uplift others with her poetic voice. Lady V is performing How Long? And I'm going to let her take it away and remove myself.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Mic check, mic check. Yes, it's Davita Williams Poe, actually, not Pew. But yes, I'm Lady Vita Poet, and this is my poem, How Long? How long did you expect for us to wait for your permission, submissively twisting our lips to be held under shackle, lock, and key, reaching our fingers to the heavens with the answers to the questions, begging for your attention, begging for acknowledgement, recognition, twitching like electric shots of cat o' nine tails back lashes, flash back into times when our screams pierce the night like your music. Tune it up for the good old boys to hear how we learn our lesson, stressing and squirming as we watch branches being ripped off our ancestry's tree. We see clearly through the lies and the deception, hidden agenda. The splendor of our silence has been your safe haven for years, shucking and jiving, hiding in the shadows, restraining our voices. Blackface makeup running down like rivers of hell-back tears. How long did you think we'd be quiet? Doors slammed in our face if we tried it, speaking truth out loud. Crowds of us speaking defiant, refusing to obey the fear you've instilled in us. Hesitant to even trust ourselves, hesitant to utter our next word. Tea kettles bubbling over with hot pent-up pressure. These mind scriptures and parables must be heard to teach the future generations. This nation can't see any justice with the blindfold tied tightly across eyes, blurring any sight of what's fair and what's right. If I choose to continue my legacy, my children's children will see, hear, learn, and be all the lessons I must pass to them. The chapters of the history books being ripped out of public school curriculums, the trailblazers, innovators, inventors with skin like mine, they aren't mentioned to the masses. They're only whispered to some. I must carry the torch in these verses and psalms. I must be the voice that gets ignored on the news, the interview of what really happened to the body. This underground story will save my life and others. Told through my eyes of perception, the world will feel its concept. I must be the words that are often muzzled, chopped, and screwed. Unapologetic truth will no longer be silent. It's a matter of my life or death.
Thank you so much, Davita. Yeah, Lady V. I was trying to give you a minute in case you wanted to just, shout out your plugs so that people can know where they can follow you at or find your books.
Yes, you can definitely go on Instagram at Art Out Loud ATL, or you can follow me on Facebook at Lady V the Poet. You can also follow my husband. He's a music producer. He makes all the custom music for my shows, Art Out Loud ATL Open Mic Show at Allen Poe, ALLEN POUGH. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Lady V. And I know a lot of us often have that same question, how long? So that was a beautiful poem. Take
Thank
care. Okay, just trying to see if there was anything in the comments, but I'm gonna go ahead on and prepare to bring out our next speaker, and it is all right. So it is Miss Amanda Wilson. Amanda Wilson is a sought after motivational speaker, author, and advocate. Amanda began her career in public service 19 years ago upon graduation from Bethune-Cookman University. After receiving a graduate degree from Troy University, she ventured into a career in counseling and therapy. She currently serves as an administrator with the Department of Children and Families and is a registered mental health counselor. Amanda is a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, where she serves as a local officer. She has a passion to serve while lifting others to great heights, encouraging others to soar to their purpose, despite their current circumstance. She is no stranger to facing adversity, trauma, and grief, and she understands far too well the impact they make in our lives and on our generation. Amanda is also founder, CEO of Be Like Ike Foundation, Inc., a nonprofit for purpose inspired by the life and legacy of her late husband, Isaiah Ike Wilson. A mother of two beautiful children that keeps her on her toes, she firmly believes if there is breath, there is still hope. Amanda will be speaking on freeing yourself from trauma, so let's welcome her. Well, we've already welcomed her to the stage, but now I'm going to let her take over and do her thing. It's all yours, Amanda.
Thank you so much. And I'm very grateful to be here. Thank you to SwagHer Magazine. It is an honor to be before this audience tonight. So, as mentioned, I'm going to be talking about freeing yourself from trauma and the things that have held you back. So, are you ready to unlock your full potential and rise above the challenges that try and hold you back and the pain that keeps you down? Let's do it. But first, I want to know what that is. What is it that hold our people back? And I know that we all have experienced something in our lives that have challenged our being and rocked us to our core. So let's hear in the comments what that looks like. Maybe divorce, loss of a loved one. I want to see what we got here. Career challenges, mental health challenges. Talking about a few. Divorce, nearly 40% of marriages end in divorce, 10 to 15% separate, and another 7% remain married but chronically unhappy. So that's pretty rough on our generation. A loss of a loved one, 32% of people suffer from grief, from losing someone very close to them. 2.5 million people die annually, leaving behind at least 5 grieving people. That's a lot of grief around us, y'all. Career challenges, 52% of individuals are unhappy in their work or career. And what about, we all survived the pandemic, right? We're here, we suffered through the pandemic. Mental health challenges, 1 in 4 adults suffer from a diagnosable mental health disorder. And what about adverse childhood experiences or trauma and abuse in childhood? 60 to 80% of adults experience at least one adverse childhood experience. So tonight, that's a lot, right? That's pretty heavy. That's pretty heavy on our generation. Tonight, I'm going to talk briefly about how we can turn that pain that we experience into purpose and free ourselves from those things that try and hold us back. So are you prepared? Are you ready to soar to new heights with me? I hope so. I didn't see much in the comments before, and I probably can't see it. But tonight we're going to talk about my story, briefly about my story of transformation and resilience. And I've definitely walked a path of trauma in my past, generational turnaround. I see that. Definitely trying to turn around the the generational curses from the past, definitely. So I have walked that path of trying to change that generation of abuse. For me, it was the trauma and from my childhood, those adverse childhood experiences, 10, I've experienced pretty much all of them. And then some grief and loss in my childhood and adulthood. But tonight I want to show you how you can soar, how I've learned to soar above, push past that pain. So the trauma for me started way back when I was a child. As a young teenager, I actually had a gun in my face when I was around 12 years old, and I wasn't afraid to die. In fact, I thought I was better off dead, and my life would be so much better, and it would be a better place without me. Because I grew up in such an abusive home with a mother that often chose men over me. I know some of us have experienced that, where we were pushed to the side for either loved ones or lovers. And those men in our home often brought pain and fear into our lives, and abuse upon abuse, every type of abuse you can think of. So in my own quest for love and acceptance, I turned to the streets, seeking what I so desperately lacked at home and what I needed at home. I began engaging in the streets. And so I got into activities that no young teenage girl should be getting into: drugs, alcohol, gangs, abuse, more trauma, skipping school, not going to school. And so my life made a significant turn at 14, when I was kicked out of school and I was pretty much failing all of my courses. And at that point, thank God, I had a loving caregiver that swooped in, thank you, Mom, and pretty much turned my life around. Her kindness, love, support, empathy got me on the path to becoming a respectable young woman who was able to go off to college and get a degree and get into a career so I can be happily married and have this family that I never thought or imagined I can have. So now, years later, as an adult, happily married with 2 young children, another devastating loss when my husband died at 38 years old. I was left a widow. And that grief was overwhelming and definitely brought up old wounds to the surface that I thought were back in the past, right? Wounds like lack of acceptance and love, and trying to find peace and bring calm to my nervous system and my brain that was on fire. Because our brain, it doesn't know the difference between trauma. It just knows, I have a job, my job is safety and protection, and I need safety and protection. And so it's either fight, flight, or freeze, right? So here I am now in my late 30s, early 40s, now navigating this journey of grief, reliving this trauma, resurfaced old wounds, trying to heal, because that definitely rocked my core. And scientifically speaking, losing a spouse is like brain damage. It literally damages the brain and how we function. So navigating that now through this journey, I have successfully found a way to transform that pain into purpose, something that I never thought, imagined, or could have saw myself in this position. So this is how, staying on the principles of SOAR, being able to soar, I've been able to, as you heard, successfully launch a nonprofit, author my own memoir, and successfully launch a speaking business. And I've turned these experiences into my purpose moving forward. So what does that mean? Let's break it down a little bit. S for SOAR, self-love, rising high above the world, but first within yourself, learning to love yourself. We have to cultivate and rise past the traumas, accepting who you are for who you are, and valuing yourself unconditionally, recognizing your worth, and treating yourself with kindness and compassion. I definitely know how it is because we as women and men, we tend to care for others, pour out our love. We're there for everyone else. And I look around at my friends, loved ones, family members. When was the last time you went to the doctor or checked on your blood levels or did something that you love for yourself? It's so easy to get away from taking care of ourselves and giving ourselves that self-love, that compassion, that grace. And you know what else it means to love yourself? Seek support when you need it. And that can be therapeutic support, professional support, family, friends, support group, therapists, whatever that is. Having a network of support and a village gives you strength and perspective that you could never imagine. I know for me, I would not have made it had I not have my support system. Furthermore, I have a therapist. I have several support groups. I have not just one, but two therapists, coaches, my besties, my sisterhood, tons of support. And without it, I'm not sure what I would have done or where I would be. So definitely self-love, seeking that support, doing the things that you need to do. Rest, rinse, repeat. Self-love, rest, rinse, repeat. Do it for yourself because you can't pour into anybody else if you're not pouring into yourself. Again, don't be afraid to reach out for help. Reaching out to help is a sign of strength, not a weakness. That's something that I had to learn the hard way too, especially always being the strong one and being the one that's always there for somebody else and everyone else. Sometimes that strong friend and that strong person needs their support and they need to be able to say, hey, I need it now. So don't be afraid to do it. It's actually vulnerable and it's a sign of self-love, support. It's a sign of strength. Owning your story. Owning your story. Just as an eagle soars high and owns the skies with confidence and grace, you must own your story with the same courage. Acknowledge your past, embrace your experiences, let them become a part of who you are. It was very scary for me to put my story out there when I wrote my memoir. I read it and reread it and was afraid of my professional. I'm a therapist. I'm a professional with the Department of Children and Families. Putting all of this pain and things that I've experienced and laws that I've broken and people that I hurt out into the world was very, very hard. But your story is what makes you who you are. It does not define you and it doesn't define your future. And it doesn't mean that that's where you are. Where you are is not where you have to be in the future. You can start today and rewrite your narrative, but own your past experience and let it empower you to where you're going to be in the future. Accept and forgive. Accept and forgive. Soaring like an eagle, you must release the weight that holds you down. Accept where you've been, accept the past, and forgive those who have hurt you. I remember putting out my book. I was like, this is hard, but if I can at least help one person, it makes it all worth it. And I got the call from someone who lives in another state that was a complete stranger that I don't even know. And she shared with me her story and her relationship with her mom that was so similar to my relationship with my mom. And she just shared that she was so inspired by how I was able to forgive and move forward. And she was struggling with forgiving. And I just had to share that letting go of that anger and resentment is what's keeping you down. You have to let it go. Forgiving those who hurt us does not mean that you're excusing the pain that they've caused you. It simply means that you're ready to soar and you're ready to be self-liberated and you're taking your power back, because allowing them to keep holding you down is only keeping the power over you. So move forward without that burden of bitterness. Forgive what they've done because it's for you, not for them. And rise above. An eagle rises above the storms. It uses its wind, the wind, to uplift itself. And we too can rise above our circumstances and our challenges by turning our pain into purpose. After my husband's death, I channeled that into doing something that's meaningful. That's why we started the nonprofit. I turned that experience into a purpose for our lives. And just like an eagle soars, we have to rise above our circumstances. We have to go above what's trying to hold us back. It's a part of you. It doesn't define you. It doesn't say that, you know, your future is not worth living now. And I know sometimes it feels that way when you see an eagle soaring, you see him soaring or her with arms stretched out, and they're able to soar without flapping. And sometimes I know it feels like we're just flapping and trying to survive and doing everything that we can to survive. I know some days feel like that for me, but when you're soaring, you're actually allowing the air and the altitude to take you to higher heights. And it's quite unbelievable how you're able to do that without flapping your wings, but you're allowing those past challenges and experiences to launch you forward and allow it to project you into your future. So you can soar, I can soar. Let's soar together. Peace, love, and light always, people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amanda. That was really beautiful. I love how you feel the acronym for SOAR. Each one had its own significance, but it was just different. You know, we've seen different acronyms with it before, but just to kind of see it all together from your perspective was really interesting. And also, I just admire you for sharing your story with us. You were very transparent, and we are so happy that you were able to turn your pain into purpose. So thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been such a pleasure.
Not a problem. Oh, wait, I removed myself. I'm supposed to be removing him. I'm sorry, y'all. I talk myself through everything. Yeah. But that's just me. That's who I am. I'm accepting it. So we're going to move on to our next performance, which is by Obsession. And let me bring Obsession on screen. Okay. So Obsession is an award-winning poet, published author, photographer, artist, and early childhood educator from Chicago. She's currently earning a master's degree in clinical psychology and is currently writing her 24th book that's set for release November 2024. And tonight she will be performing The Deal. And I'm going to hand it over to you, Obsession.
Thank you so much, Fancy. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me. I'm Obsession, like Miss Fancy just said. I'm gonna say a piece that really resonates with me because I'm a child abuse survivor. I'm an advocate for individuals who suffer from ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, and stuff like that. So this poem reflects some of that. It's called The Deal. Freeing myself of false beliefs instilled in me by women who hated me because I was everything they wanted and couldn't be. An old young soul shaped and molded by generational trauma, black mama on black daughter drama. Seeing her in me was a problem. I had to heal. God left me no choice. He said, "You want to be free? I need you to do something for me. Give me your pain and then go plant these seeds of newfound freedom into those who you know need them." But I'm hard-headed. I plant the seeds, water, and encourage them with my faith. I get on my knees and speak life into them until our roots are face to face the survival of it all. How the pain seeps to the very core of your being, fighting to breathe, fighting to just be, fighting to be freed from a bloodline that behaves as if peace is a fable. God and the universe show me that I am able to cleanse myself of my mother's pain and her mother's, shedding that broken skin, shedding those gifted sins, setting boundaries with my kin to protect my future kids. I had to heal. God left me no choice. He said, "You want to be free? I just need you to do one thing for me." And that's that peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Obsession. That was so good. And I just feel like so many women can relate to that very opening line when you talked about like women not liking you. And maybe some can't. I don't know. For me personally, I really could relate to it. And I think that's something we don't really talk about a lot in the Black community. So thank
Yes.
you for addressing that. Okay, so let's keep it moving. Oh, look, you have a comment. That was beautiful, Obsession, from Chris Nathan. Just want to make certain you saw that. And good stuff, Obsession. Loved it. So I'm gonna go ahead on and bring on our next guest. And I know it's kind of time sensitive, so let me get on stage.
Hi.
All right. Okay, our next speaker is Chandra Gore. Chandra Gore is an accomplished consultant and publicist dedicated to empowering businesses and entrepreneurs with the tools for enduring success. With a knack for devising strategies that resonate deeply with target audiences, Chandra excels in driving engagement and enhancing customer loyalty. Her expertise in strategic communication extends to curating impactful media placements across diverse platforms such as broadcast, digital, print, and social media realms. Additionally, as the host and writer of Conversations with Shan, Chandra's literary prowess shines through as an award-winning author and writer who also contributes to platforms like Newsbreak, Medium.com, Pretty Women Hustle Magazine, and SwagHer Magazine. Chandra will be speaking on freeing yourself from doubt, and I'm going to let you take away.
Thank you so much for having me, Fancy. And today is significant in it was the day that we were granted freedom. Black women, Black people were granted freedom, the last of the slaves. But the one thing I would like to definitely talk about is freeing yourself from self-doubt. For me, I've always struggled with doubting myself and doubting my ability to be as great as I am. So the biggest thing I will say for anyone who is fighting with moving forward with something that they want to accomplish, the moment you start to doubt yourself, change the way you're thinking about it. Remember why you started. Remember why you started your journey. Remember why you wanted to be successful. Remember what you wanted to accomplish. And then channel that self-doubt into the fuel that's going to make you work harder, work smarter, and walk in your purpose. Because with self-doubt becomes the fear, and then it spirals into a paralyzation of yourself, and you won't move. So freeing yourself from self-doubt is going to be the key to your success. And I'm going to give you 3 things that you can do to actually help you to remain free from self-doubt, but also use it to channel it into your success. The first thing you need to do is write down why you're doubting yourself. And then the next thing, number 2, is to scribble it all out. Make sure you block it all out. And then the third thing that you need to do, throw it in the trash. Okay, use that, get it out, get it done, and move forward. And that way you're freeing yourself of that restraint of moving forward. Because one thing about self-doubt is it will stop your momentum and stop you from propelling forward. So remember to write it down, cross it out, and throw it away. And then you can keep your head up and keep going and don't stop. So I hope that helps someone today. I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much, Fancy, for having me today. Obsession, I have to give you a shout out. That poem really hit me to my heart. So y'all have a great evening.
All right. Thank you so much, Shan. I know you got to go, but
Yes.
I really appreciate the steps that you shared. You have a blessed evening.
You too.
Okay. All right. And thank you all again for tuning in to Free Yourself, a SwagHer Magazine production. This event is brought to you by Von Rivera. Step into the world of exclusive fashion with, and let me pull their banner up, Von Rivera. Their sunglasses are custom one-of-a-kind pieces, ensuring you stand out with unique style. Their shoes, available only in limited editions, offer unparalleled craftsmanship and exclusivity. Founded by Carol Von Rivera, their brand combines luxury and individuality. Explore their collections at the link that's shared below, which is http://von/rivera.com, and elevate your style today. And Jarmel also dropped the link in the comments if you all would like to check it out. I think it's in some of the earlier comments. So I'm going to go ahead on and prepare you all for our next guest, which is Miss Krishnatha. And I'm certain you all probably know Krishnatha from the Masterpiece Lounge, which she hosts on the SwagHer page. But let me tell you a little bit more about her. So Krishnatha DeRozier is a certified life coach, speaker, author, and media correspondent. She is the founder of the Masterpiece Coaching and Consulting Firm. She is funky, soft, and just plain fabulous. She has captivated audiences at universities, conferences, summits, and retreats. Named the Urban League of Broward County Success Story, Krishnatha is making her mark in her community as well as in the world at large. She has been seen on television as well as featured on various radio and podcast shows, both nationally and internationally. Krishnatha DeRozier helps her clients to discover the masterpiece within by owning their greatness in their daily lives and businesses. She educates and inspires her clients to start their own businesses, write their first books, and to flourish in their speaking careers. Through her company, Masterpiece Coaching and Consulting Firm, she helps authors, speakers, and creators through her online school, the Masterpiece Institute, by way of webinars, ebooks, and online courses. And as I mentioned, Chris Natha also hosts the Masterpiece Lounge on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Central Time on SwagHer's Facebook page. Chris Natha is speaking on freeing yourself from doubt. If I'm not mistaken. Okay, it was doubt, right, Chris Natha?
Self-limiting beliefs.
Sorry, self-limiting beliefs. So you all just prepare, be informed and empowered. I'm going to remove myself.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited. This event has been incredible so far. Thank you, Fancy, for having me. I'm going to be talking tonight a little bit about how to free yourself from self-limiting beliefs. And yeah, it's basically doubt. And so self-limiting beliefs, for those of us who may not have heard that term, it's basically negative self-perceptions that we have that goes on in our mind, right? The way that we think about ourselves based on past experiences, based on comments from other people in our lives, or based on our values and just our overall belief system. And so it's just so important that I wanted to talk to you about this today, is to make sure that we are overcoming self-limiting beliefs, because they are holding us back. And this is our year of power. I'm declaring it. And so I want to make sure that we do not remain stuck. And so jumping into self-limiting beliefs, now that we've defined it, we're going to talk about, I'm going to share some examples with you and just encourage you on a few steps you could take to overcome them. And so let's just talk about some examples. We're going to talk about limiting beliefs versus some of the behavior that you may have as a result of having that particular belief. Okay, so for example, I am powerless. So if this is a belief that you have, then maybe an action or behavior that is attached to it, you may have noticed it, and I've noticed it about yourself, is you don't stand up for yourself. Why? Because you believe that you are powerless, right? Another example is, for instance, everything I do has to be perfect. Does anybody ever feel like that? Remember, this is a safe space, so you are more than welcome to share with us in the chat if you feel led to do so. Everything I do has to be perfect. I can honestly admit that I used to think this way, right? I never wanted to make a mistake. I wanted to make sure that everything was on point. And if it wasn't, I had some level of anxiety. Can anybody relate to that? I'll raise my hand. And so what that resulted in terms of behaviors, that I avoided making big decisions. I needed everybody's opinion before I made any type of decision, right? Awesome, Fancy, me too. And I avoided taking risks. And so I would think about a thing and think about a thing and think about a thing. And I would think myself worried. I would think myself stressed, and I never took action. Why? Because I needed to be perfect and do everything the right way. But I'm here to tell you that there's no such thing as perfection, right? Because again, this is our year of power, and it's our year to take action. Another self-limiting belief is I can't handle conflict. I'm avoiding it. I'm going to beat around the bush. I'm going to not have challenging, difficult, or uncomfortable conversations with people. But how many of you know that this is necessary? They don't have to be negative conversations. They just have to be maybe uncomfortable, right? But they are important. And so one of the behaviors that's attached with this belief is we give into others way more than we should. We say yes when we want to say no. We do things and then secretly we're upset about it, right? I've done that too, because we don't want to deal with conflict. We believe that we can't handle it, right? And so these are just, again, self-limiting beliefs, most likely came from an experience or even childhood, but we don't have to live in this manner. We don't have to live in this state. And so let's talk a little bit about some ways you can start overcoming any self-limiting beliefs that you are dealing with or that may come up for you. One way to overcome your self-limiting beliefs is to first identify the belief. What is it exactly that I believe about myself, right? And what are the behaviors that are attached to it? So if I believe that I cannot finish school, for example, right? That's a belief I have. What is the behavior attached to it? Maybe I don't try when it's time to write my papers. Maybe I procrastinate and wait till the last minute to turn in my assignments, right? So there's behavior attached to the way that I believe. And so even now, Everything that you do is attached to the way that you see yourself. And so I want you to think about that, right? And to really watch your patterns and to really start to identify those things. Also, the second way you can start to overcome your self-limiting beliefs is I want you to really explore, where did this belief come from? What happened for me to start thinking this way? Who said you're not pretty enough? Who said that you're too heavy? Who said that you're not smart enough? Who said that you can't own your own business? Who said that you'll never be a mom? Who said that you'll never get married? Who said that you're going to fail? Where did this come from? Where did this belief come from? Right? And so I want you to start exploring that a bit more. And then I have a big question to ask you. Are you ready? My question is, where is the evidence? Where is the evidence that you will not succeed? Where is the evidence that you will not overcome this storm? Where is the evidence that because of your environment and where you were raised, that you will not be successful? Where is the evidence that you are only a serial starter and you cannot be a strong finisher? Where is the evidence? I'll wait. I'll give you a second. Where's the evidence? Most of the time, we don't have evidence. It's just our thoughts. And so we have to begin to overcome our thoughts because they're holding us back. We're pretty much halfway through the year. Don't allow your mind to keep you stuck, right? I heard my pastor say this one time, and it was amazing. He said that God wants to blow your mind, but you keep letting your mind blow it. God wants to blow your mind, but you keep letting your mind blow it. And so again, where's the evidence? Where is the evidence? Most of the time, there isn't any. So we got to get beyond our thoughts, beyond our belief. And I will even go so far as saying, challenge your current belief system. You can change it. You can rewrite your story today. You can start tonight, right? And then the next step to overcome your self-limiting belief is to develop new beliefs. I know that I think that I can't be successful, but I'm going to replace that with a new belief that I can do anything I put my mind to. And I'm going to surround myself with people who know more, someone who can mentor me. I'm going to invest in a coach or someone who's going to help me get to the other side. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be the one to completely change the generation, right? The path in my family, the pattern, everything that's been going through, I'm going to be the one to start this change. It's going to start with me. Another thing I wanted to share with you that I heard that was amazing. You cannot be a host to your future while being hostage to your past. Now I'm going to let that marinate for just a second. Now that's heavy. Okay. You cannot be a host to your future while being a hostage to your past. You have to pick one. You have to pick one. You're going to be a hostage to the past? We can't change what's happened. It's gone. Or are you going to be a host to your future? I hope that you have chosen and will continue to choose to be a host to your future. Okay. And so that means the relationships that we build, the people we connect with, the decisions we make have to look like where we're going, not where we've been, where we're going. So that means some new habits have to be formed, right? Some new declarations have to be shared over our life. We have to speak life into ourselves, even when nobody else is able to do so, right? Because we are now looking ahead. Because those self-limiting beliefs, honey, we are overcoming them tonight. We are overcoming them tonight. And so with that being said, overcoming your self-limiting beliefs is just amazing because I want you to know something. For instance, I'll use myself as an example. I used to live my life according to how I felt. This was so dangerous. So if I felt like I couldn't do something, then I just accepted that as truth. Now, again, I'm all for acknowledging emotions, right? I want you to know that your feelings are valid. Our feelings are valid. But they will lie. So what you feel is valid, but what you know is power. What you feel is valid, but what you know is power. And what do we know? We know that we can overcome. We are strong people. We can push forward. We are resilient. And it doesn't stop here. As long as there's breath in our lungs, we can overcome. And so that is what I wanted to share with you tonight. Overcoming self-limiting beliefs. Let yourself be free. It's time to get unstuck, guys. And so thank you guys for having me tonight for Free Yourself. And I hope that you feel free in every aspect. And I'm excited. And let's connect on all social media platforms at Chris Natha, and the information's in the chat. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Chris Natha. That was so good. Like, I was in the comments, kind of like I'm not even in the, I'm in the audience, like I'm really in the audience right now and all. So I agree with everything that you said, the perfectionism, where did these limiting beliefs come from? I think those things are so important to ask ourselves. And I know I've had to do it with myself so many times. So everything that you said, I just totally agree with. And I can see that they were agreeing also in the comments. So thank you again for your yes. And we appreciate having you.
Thank you.
All right. So guys, we have another poet coming to the stage. Actually, he says he does not describe himself as a poet. So let me take that back. But he had a really great poem, and I think you all are really going to enjoy it. So coming to the stage next is, and I pray that I'm saying his name correctly, Amin L. Amin L resides in Elkhart, Indiana. He doesn't describe himself as a poet, but he started writing poetry as a means to deal with his pain in a healthy way. With less than 10 stage appearances, Amin L is fairly new to the scene, but he looks forward to pursuing his passion and hopefully impacting people positively. Amin will be performing My Sisters, and I think you all are really going to like it. I'm going to leave it to you, Amin. Here you go.
Thank you. Thank you. This poem is called My Sisters, and I wrote it because I haven't always treated y'all the best, man. I'm just trying to be better. My sisters. Growing up, I was lost because I was taught. So, of course, that means I thought that the so-called black woman came from the so-called black man's ribs. But that's not fact. In fact, that's a fib. See, once I was no longer that kid from back then and I was taught, for myself, I then saw. And through research, I found truth, which is all proof my prior thoughts were naught. Yeah, that allegorical story was his. Because within your sacred blood, my sis, it's the DNA to every single nation. That Eve gene demonstration. So you're not only the backbone of civilization, you birthed it. But we as men haven't quite fulfilled our purpose, showing you what your true worth is, or the proper appreciation. What's worse is we've been a personification of failure, guilt, and regret. Because while we should strive to get you closer to your dreams and take you high, like Guapole advised, it seems too often in our lives, you down, we have let. And with all due respect, my people, we can ill afford any more of that. So we must pick up the slack and put you aboard our worn backs and help us rise like an A-seater sitting high on a mountaintop. We must put aside our pride, stand by your side, and push you to thrive when you want to stop. We must lend a helping hand to help you stand when life's boulders get so heavy on your shoulders that you're about to drop. We must treat you like you all we got and stop acting like we can go forward with you being any lower than your best if we're ever going to reach the crest or reclaim our spot back at the top. Because we cannot. I repeat, my sisters, we cannot elevate any higher than you because God chose you to be the foundation on which we build upon. But unfortunately, we've broken you. So it's no wonder that there's been far too many of us men not standing on all 10 in your defense like we're supposed to. But I suppose you got a proposal of how we're supposed to find success as a nation, my sister, if you are not right. Well, the answer is contrite, yet quite simple. We won't. It's like trying to fly a string without even having a kite. You don't. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. It's like getting to enjoy the sun's warmth but never reaping any of the real benefits sprung forth from the sun's light. Low key, y'all know I'm right. So harder we must fight to get rid of the spite so that we can reverse this plight, that we might get back to following our ancestors' directions. Because my brothers, we done destroyed our support system, but my sisters, I done tore down your protection. Which begs the question, how do we get that divine connection back? I'm accepting any and all suggestions because I know their direction is progression. If we can somehow get back to manifesting God's love for us and to one another and for each other, get back to stepping. Without doubt, contradiction, or question, you're our responsibility, my sister, but we got you looking silly and second guessing, so you lack accountability, you don't listen, and now our leadership is being questioned. Make no mistake, it's not for all men I speak for in this addressing. This is my apology for ignoring you and disrespecting and rejecting you, neglecting you, definitely not providing for and protecting, not investing in and imploring you to always wear your crown in word, action, and deed. Despite the war on you, shit, the way we've been abhorring you, it seems like we're at war with you, when we should be adoring you and striving to soar with you. We must begin to help restore in you that queen, that empress, that goddess state of mind. We got to start trying to stop treating you like a female dog and a garden tool and back on your throne help you climb. With every beat left in my heart, I'm going to start to do my part. I just hope this sparks the efforts in y'all hearts to match mine. My sisters, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, is it amen? Did I say it right?
It's amen.
Amen. Okay, I was kind of close before, and then I actually saw somebody type amen in the chat for you as they were just praising you in that moment. And I don't know why for a minute I started thinking that's what you were trying to tell me. But never mind that. However, I just wanted to, give you some finger snaps. I wish I would have thought about giving everybody finger snaps. But every time I hear that poem, it just really I don't know, it's just so many things. I almost want to cry because it just really touches me in so many ways, so many things that you address that I feel like I've experienced as a Black woman, just not feeling that support of the Black man, just, and then also I just want to commend you for being, I think, our only male speaker. Yeah. So
it's an honor and a blessing. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. So thank you so much. You have a blessed evening, and I'm going to get ready to bring on our next guest. But before I do that, I just want to also remind you all that thank you all again for tuning in to Free Yourself, a SwagHer Magazine production. This event is brought to you again by Von Rivera. Step into the world of exclusive fashion with Von Rivera. Their sunglasses, and why I never have their banner pulled up is beyond me, but their sunglasses are custom, one-of-a-kind pieces. Ensure you stand out with unique style. Their shoes available only in limited editions, offer unparalleled craftsmanship and exclusivity. Founded by Carol Von Rivera, their brand combines luxury and individuality. Explore their collections at vonrivera.com and elevate your style today. And you all can see the link scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And I'm now going to get ready to bring in our next speaker. So let me do that. 1 second. All right, it's Jennifer Harris. Jennifer finds joy in helping others balance life's daily challenges. She is the founder of Chosen Counselors, Inc., a 501c3 nonprofit organization that seeks to inspire, motivate, empower, and strengthen individuals and families by way of one-to-one counseling, family sessions, workshops, conferences, literature, and other events. Jennifer finds joy in serving at-risk youth, individuals, and families, helping them achieve their goals as they inspire her to continue achieving her goals. She specializes in bringing the community to you by way of tough talks and meaningful conversations. Jennifer will be speaking on freeing yourself from fear and guilt. And I'm going to hand it over to you, Jen.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. So we will soon be closing out the first half of the year. I know. Where did the time go, right? But I want us to take a moment to reflect on the first 5.5 months of 2024. Take a moment, think about it. Reflect on your highs. Reflect on your lows. reflect on the unexpected. How has this year been for you thus far? Have you lost connections, gained connections, avoided some connections, reconnected with some connections that we should have left disconnected? When December 2023 came around, we made some resolutions, some goals for the new year. For some, it's a continuation from last year of some goals and things that we're trying to do. And it's okay because some goals require more than 365 days. And I won't ask you to put in the comments how you're doing with your goals, what dreams you dropped, what goals you dropped. I'm keeping mine to myself a little while longer as well, because we all have some that we may have put down because of fear, because of doubt, because of lack of belief in ourselves, or a whole bunch of other things, or just because life was life and it was like, I'll get back to it at another time, right? But I want us to explore the roadblocks, these roadblocks that have been a hindrance to our road to success. We can sometimes, most times, almost all the time, be our worst critic. And it can be due to so many different experiences. It could be due to trauma, a distressing or upsetting event that overwhelmed our ability to cope. And some experiences can have a lasting negative effect on our mental and physical health. And we're still trying to go. And we're wondering, why do I let the motivation to go? Because life was life and then I'm overwhelmed and I need to take a moment, but sometimes we don't know we need to take that moment because we got to keep on going because life is still happening, right? But even in that, it could be some grief, not just a loss of a loved one, but a loss of a place or a thing, that can cause us to be saddened as well. And trauma could be a little tricky because it can have a major impact on us, but because it's happened and happened again, we think that it's just the norm and that's just how life is. But no, it doesn't have to be that way. It could be a roadblock. So we want to figure out how we can get around that. Then we have values and choices that could be roadblocks, okay? Guilt and frustration from personal values and choices, and realizing that you ignored your core belief and truth that you hold for yourself to the benefit of somebody else. You let it go because you wanted to be with that person. You wanted to connect with that person. And sometimes we did it because we want to do it for ourselves, okay? But it is crucial that we have a moment with ourselves to evaluate who we are, what we want, and the boundaries we want to put in place to make sure that it's happening. Mental or physical health, some concerns about our mental and physical health. Are we going to the doctor as we should? That could be stressful, causing fear and doubts because we don't think we have the capacity to do those things that we're trying to do, right? But we want to go to the doctor to get those things checked out. We want to maybe go to that professional to talk about those things, process those things, and see how it's going. Because we don't want to explode if we don't address it because we're overwhelmed from all of it that's going on and just bubbles up and bubbles up. Then we have desires. Things that you want, that you lost, have, or don't have yet. Believing that you shouldn't have it. Believing that you should, but how you got it makes you wonder, is it really yours? Waiting for it, getting it, and then not feeling worthy of it. I saw a meme the other day. Someone was asking for something, and when it came or appeared, they closed the door on it thinking that it wasn't it. Don't block your opportunities, friends. Don't miss out on blessings that were designed and created for you because of doubt and fear. Self-care. When we take care of our others' needs more than we're taking care of our own needs, and then we finally get the time to take care of our needs, and we don't got no time, we burnt out and we tired. Religious beliefs. Whatever your beliefs are, sometimes we stray from it, cleave to it a little bit. Whatever it is that you do, sometimes it can mess us up if we're not being true to it. And then social circles, worrying about what others think, trying to keep up with the Joneses, and we can't, or we can, but it's not even our style. We just doing it to be doing it. Don't let these things be a roadblock. Miley Cyrus wrote a song, "The struggles I'm facing, the chances I'm taking, sometimes might knock me down, but no, I'm not breaking. I may not know it, but these are the moments that I'm going to remember most. Just got to keep going. And I gotta be strong. Just keep pushing on because there's always going to be another mountain. I'm always going to want to make it move. Always going to be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm going to have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. But guess what? It's the climb. And y'all probably be like, why should you bring that song up? That's what I do. I like music, right? And it is the climb. It's the climb of life. And when we're trying to get through these roadblocks, we got to climb over them suckers, okay? We cannot let them stop us of the dreams and aspirations that we have for our lives. Those things that we say we want to do, we got to get out there and do them. And I'm talking to myself too, because there's some stuff that I put down that I still need to be pursuing. It's the climb. I got to get get through that roadblock, I got to go around, I got to go over, I got to go under, I got to knock that sucker down whatever way I can, because it's the climb. We're going to become fearful of the progress, of what success looks like, because we're fearful. Can I handle it? Guess what? You can. You can do it. I challenge you to evaluate who is around you. Who can you connect with to help you move forward with your goals and your dreams? Find a mirror in your home and put words of affirmation up to help encourage yourself. Okay? Because sometimes the people aren't available, but you have to be able to encourage yourself. And those affirmations are always there so that when you need a moment, I can do this. I am the bomb.com. I was built for this. I might have messed up that time, but I got it this time. We got to keep on going, friends. There are some things that I was recently hesitant about. But after I had that chat with myself, I said, Jennifer, either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. But guess what? I'm going to do it because I'm not giving up on me, and I don't want you to give up on you too. Friends, we have to let go of fear and guilt of what was. We have to get through that roadblock that our stinking thinking has created, because sometimes our thinking and our mindsets and things are causing a roadblock that's not even really there. It's something small. So don't let it bother you. It looks different for everyone, but as shared, sometimes you may need to talk to somebody. I am all about normalizing the importance of us addressing our mental health. Sometimes you have to talk to somebody, because sometimes we take things in a way it wasn't meant to be received that way. But when we talk to somebody, that helps us to pull back the layers that, oh, I was feeling that way because this and this happened when I was younger. See, we got to address some things that's going on, because those things too can become roadblocks. And you don't have to push forward alone. I know we may have thoughts of, I could have did this better. I should have said this. I still haven't mastered this, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Yes, it's all true, but it's the climb. How are we going to get through those roadblocks? It was such an amazing panel today. Love Lady V's poem of how long. So many thoughts came to my mind. How long are we going to keep on stopping ourselves from making it? Amanda said, rest, rinse, and repeat. We have to rest. We got to rinse some things off, and then we got to go and try again. Obsession was talking about freeing yourself from false beliefs. It's that stinking thinking. Many of us are hard-headed. And I know our mama said a hard head make us soft behind, and I don't like that. I don't want that for you either. I don't want us to always have to learn a hard way, but we have to heal, she said, and we can get past that roadblock. Shan said, write it down, scribble it out, and throw it away. See, we can't allow fear, doubt, or whatever your roadblock is stop you. Throw it out, throw it away. It can't live where you are anymore. Chris said we must overcome self-limiting beliefs. This is the year of power. I'm taking that and receiving it. She said, take the risk. It's time to get unstuck. Friends, we got to get unstuck because we can make it through. I don't want to say his name wrong. I'm about to do it. And Fancy just said it. I'm in. Low key, we all know he was right. Thank you for that apology. It was very nice. I'm borrowing that as well. So friends, it's the calm. Get around those roadblocks. You've got this. You've got swag. You can do this. Okay. I am Jennifer. I go by Jen Cares in the podcast world, where I specialize in bringing the community to you with Jen Cares on most Mondays, where we just share resources with the community. We also host a Blending Fab on Thursdays, where we chat all things relationships, talking about those things that we know now that we wish we know then. Why? Because sometimes that can be roadblocks too. Yeah, we went down that street. Yes, we tried this. It didn't work, but guess what? We too can make it through. So I do hope that you enjoyed what I've shared, what has been shared. If you missed anybody, you want to go back because they dropped some nuggets. Again, I'm Jennifer. Nice to meet you all, and get around those roadblocks.
Thank you so much, Jen. That was so good. It was like, for one, next time I host an event, I know to ask you about hosting. And then, because I love how you did that recap. Like, I'm just already sitting in my head, like, yeah, we're going to have to clip that part. I wish I would have put her to at the end so she could have recapped everybody, because you did such an excellent job doing it. I saw Chris Natha in the background waving her hair and everything. And I was just like, yes, Jen. Okay. So thank you so much for that. You have a great evening. And also, guys, you can also catch Jen as one of the SwagHer correspondents, that she does live interviews on the What's Going On segment.
Yes. See y'all.
All right. Okay, and let me get ready to bring up our next guest, Dr. Tina J. Ramsey. 1 second. Now, Dr. Tina, I did have to cut the bio a little bit, but I still have a great bio for you. So Dr. Tina J. Ramsey is a distinguished 4 times best-selling international author and community leader. Serving as CEO of CTR Media Network and CTR Cares Inc., She is the visionary founder of CTR Homeschooling and co-founded a thriving homeschooling community with over 23,000 parents to help de-stress the homeschooling process and provide support. With 25 years of educational expertise, multiple certifications, and 2 honorary doctorates in humanities and pop cultural studies, Dr. Ramsey is also a KBB University Business School graduate. As a media executive, business marketing, media, and sales coach for KBB University, and a certified special needs educator, she advocates for home-based learning and autism awareness. Dr. Ramsey's global impact is evident through her features on major networks like ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, and Yahoo Finance. Her podcast, The Tina Ramsey Show, a 2 times award-winning nominated series with over 200 episodes, ranks in the top 2% of the most popular podcasts globally. She founded CTR Media Network to support podcasters and entrepreneurs in enhancing their visibility across social media, television, media outlets, and podcasts, fostering a movement of positivity and creating lasting digital legacies reaching millions of households worldwide. So, without further ado, Dr. Tina, I'm going to let you go ahead on and take it over.
Thank you, Fancy, for having me today. And let's just give a round of applause for all the amazing poets, speakers, and everyone who supported this event brought to you by SwagHer Magazine. I'm so happy to be with you today because as I heard all the speakers, all the artists and the poets, we are totally aligned and in tune at what we want to share with all of you today. And it's really, it makes me smile when I see how all of our messaging is aligned. And so today I'm going to talk to you guys about how you can free yourself by embracing freedom of your life and your mind. When we think about all the different things that our ancestors have done for us in regards to creating and allowing and going through the challenges of slavery, the challenges of being in bondage, the challenge of having to listen to someone else dictate every facet of your life. But in the back of their mind, they're saying, one day, my belief, and I know in my core that we will be free. Many of our ancestors lost their lives just for that one word, to be free. So what exactly should that mean to us as we are remembering and celebrating Juneteenth? When I think about that, I think about how Juneteenth freed us from a physical in bondage, but as a people, we went into another form of bondage. And you're like, wow, she's getting pretty negative today. No, it's bondage of the mind. And it's one of the most dangerous things that is even more consuming than being in bondage spiritually, than being in bondage in a physical standpoint. So how can you tap into your power to release and unleash and free your beautiful mind? That is what we're going to talk about. And I took the time to make this thing, break it down, free yourself into an acronym, because once you free your mind, you change your life. And so the F stands for focus on what matters. So what is it that matters to you? Not to her, not to him, but to you. What is your core values, your priorities, the thing or the things that bring you joy, that brings you happiness? And I want you to also set healthy boundaries that everyone can have access to you in this season because you have purpose. What is it that you was too afraid to believe that you will be able to do? I want you to tap into that and embrace what matters to you. The R stands for release limiting beliefs. And we spoke about that a little bit throughout this event. That shows you that one of the main things that we struggle with as a people is the struggle of self-limiting beliefs. Now, I am not going to stand up here and act like I have always had it together, honey, because I have my moments. But I fight every single day to make sure that I don't allow my mind to trick me to think that I can't become who I know I was born to become. And so you need to start shifting your mind now. So what is it that you want to do? I challenge you to do it. No matter if you don't have any support, do it anyway. Do it anyway. And the E stands for empower yourself with action. Many times we think about empowerment and we think about something that can be outward, right? Or it starts from within. But I want to challenge you to empower yourself with action. Action, how does that look? You have goals, you have dreams, but dreams are just dreams until you put pen to paper, write them out, apply action, and execute it. So in this season, I want you to be one of the best executors on the face of the planet. And if you do not have the skill set to execute, where you need someone to support you, find yourself a team, a group of people that will be your cheerleader, that will motivate you on the times when you feel like you can't do it. And then you be the same motivation for them. E stands for embrace change and growth. During this season, this is a season for you to thrive. I don't care what you see on the news. I don't care what you heard from other people. I don't care what even your doubts in your mind. You are born to be great. You are born to be exceptional because we stand on the shoulders of greatness, of excellence, because they fought for us in order for us to have what we have now. And it's up to us to make sure that we still keep it, we still grow, and we thrive for the next generations that's come that we're going to need to stand on our shoulders. So don't ever forget the struggle, the challenges that the ones before us faced so that we can be here speaking freely about the past and not allowing past traumas to hold us back from our present that will propel us into our future, because we have endless possibilities. The Y stands for yearn for freedom. I want you to yearn for it. I want you to taste it. I want you to become it. Because once you feel what freedom of the mind is, no limiting self-belief, you know that you can do whatever it is that you want to do if you apply the work, if you avail yourself to the right resources, mentorship, or whatever the case may be, depending on the industry that you're in, if you're an entrepreneur. But maybe you are not an entrepreneur or a podcaster or an author or an artist or a poet. You may be as a stay-at-home mom or a dad or a person that works a traditional 9-to-5. I want you to free yourself and start doing that self-work inside of you. We all have different things that we had to go through in order to become who we currently are today. So what is it that you need to work on internally in order to make sure that you break those generational curses, whether it's finance, whether it's being in terrible relationships, whether it's platonic or romantic, breaking all the different bondages that we have and moving forward. The O stand for overcoming obstacles and free your mind. The journey to freedom, physical freedom, was not easy. It was tough, but they did it. They strived for us. And now we have to strive for the generations that's coming behind us. So you can overcome these obstacles. You have resilience going in your blood. You don't have to seek outside to find it. It's already within you. All you have to do is tap into your full potential. We all have gifts. We all have goals. We all have aspirations, but don't allow fear to cripple you, to make you think that you're mediocre, that you're less than of, that you cannot succeed because you don't have this or you don't have that. Let me tell you something. If I believe that, I would not be the CEO of CTR Media Network in a male-dominated industry. I would not be a public speaker. I would not be a 4-time best-selling author. I would not have a 2-time award nominated show. No, because guess what? Dr. Tina, before I became Dr. Tina, before the DR became in front of my name, I had to struggle with feeling like I wasn't good enough. I didn't talk as clear as someone else because I have a heavy Southern twang. I hated the sound of my voice. I hated the way that I looked on camera. All these things I hated. I felt like I wasn't smart enough. I felt like I didn't come from a better place because I was from a small little country town in South Carolina. And I felt like no one would take me seriously. And I did not deserve to share my story because of past trauma. But I'm here to tell you now, baby, that is not the case. And you know why? It's because I worked on myself. And tapping into that and understanding my relationship with God, He helped me see how amazing I am because of Him. And I want you to see the exact same thing. I'm no different than any of you. It's just that I see my greatness. I see that I'm excellent. I see that I have a brilliant mind. I now love the things that I hated about myself, realizing that it is the very thing that makes me unique. It's the very gift that God gave me that no other person on the face of this planet has. And I am the original Tina. It may be a lot of people walking around with the name Tina, but it's no Tina like me. And I want you to start believing in yourself, even when no one else do. The U stands for unleashing your potential. Whatever it is that you decided you want to do with your life, you can do it. Is it going to be easy? No. But can you accomplish it? Yes. When you get knocked down, keep getting up. The only reason why I'm here other than God is because I have the unrelenting spirit to never give up. When I'm knocked down, and I have been knocked down many times, I get back up. And once you change your mindset to learn from your challenges as opportunities to grow and not as failures, no one can stop you. Once you implant that knowledge inside of you, you can always start again. You can always rebuild because it's inside of you. And we come from a generation of generations. This blood is running through our veins of people that never gave up. And you can do the same. The R stands for reflect on your progress. So whatever it is, whether big or small, I want you to reflect on it. I want you to celebrate yourself, even when no one else is celebrating you, and understand that small wins is the stepping stones to the big wins that everyone clap for. But it's the small wins that are really the most triumphant things, because those are the things that many people don't see that leads to the big things. So never shake your head at small beginnings or small steps, because it builds you up to greatness. The next is embrace change. Yes, being in the media industry, honey, the media industry change every single day. And when you're speaking about podcasting and television, and even down with education, dealing with homeschooling, the laws are changing, always ever evolving. Don't look at it as a way of giving up. I want you to look at it as a way for you to get better, because you are here for a divine purpose in order to help inspire the next generation. We are all connected in a way that if we do our part, everything works out. And I want you to embrace that. Embrace change. Don't worry about it. Don't get stressed out about it. And if you get too stressed, pull back, take a breather, regroup, and come back and solve the problem. L stands for lead with purpose. If you lead with purpose and you thrive in what you're supposed to be doing, your God-given gifts, you will never give up. Because on the moments when you want to give up, that purpose will drive you to action, even when you don't want to. So I encourage all of you to find out whatever it is that you will do, even if you did not get paid a single penny. What is it that you are naturally good at that you can do? Because you're going to need that drive. You're going to need that tenacity. You're going to need that funk to keep you going when everything is not going well. And F is for flourish, to freedom. We are now free in a physical standpoint because of our ancestors that took the time, that fought for us to be free. And now we have the tools that we discussed today with the acronym Free Yourself. Now we have the tools to free the most populated prison in the world. That's the prison of the mind. And now that you have these tools in your toolbox and you know how to free your mind, there is no one that can stop you. So I want you to go out, do whatever it is that brings you joy and happiness, and do it in a way that you know that you're making your personal imprint like our ancestors made for us. And know that when you operate in your purpose, you operate in your greatness. And even when it don't feel too good sometimes, you're doing the right thing. And so as we celebrate Juneteenth, we have learned these lessons that we can use to teach ourselves, to motivate us, to encourage us to keep on going. It also gives us the determination not to never give up. And we are now liberated to know that we're not going to let anyone or anything hold us back, including ourselves, and especially our mind. We're going to shift our mind to positivity, put in positive things, be around people that's going to pour life into you, that's going to be positive. We're going to listen to upbuilding things. We're going to read upbuilding things, and we're going to put upbuilding things so that the next generation that come behind us can remember what we did on today and be able to say, I am here because I heard them speak and it motivated me to not give up. So free yourself. We have no excuses because we have greatness running through our veins. Thank you. I am Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, host of the Tina Ramsey Show and podcast powered by CTR Media Network. I'm also the CEO of 3 different businesses like Fancy I already mentioned. If you're wanting to know all that, honey, just look it up because I'm not going to go through all that bio, but it has been an indeed pleasure to be here with you guys today. This topic of freedom is near and dear to my heart because I know what you have inside of you and I can't wait till you tap into it. So you guys have a great, amazing rest of your day. And thank you, SwagHer Magazine, for allowing me to be able to share Free Yourself from your life, to embrace your life and your mind.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tina. That was really good. I'm just still reflecting on the fact of how you were able to come up with that acronym because I didn't have it in me, but the Free Yourself just kind of came to me one day, kind of randomly out the blue. So I appreciate how you were able to pull that together. Like, that was really amazing. And thank you for taking the time out to join us for this event. I know it was a little short notice, but we greatly appreciate having you.
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed it as well. Everyone did an amazing job. I am going to definitely watch the replay because they dropped some gems that motivated me.
All right. Well, you have a good evening. All right, so I am preparing to bring our last speaker to the stage. I'm going to make certain she is back here. 1 second. Okay. All right. So our last speaker of the evening. Well, I'm sorry. Before I even get to the last speaker of the evening, let me remind you, this event is sponsored by Brunch with Boys podcast. And their link is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. But Brunch with Boys podcast is a podcast filled with intense and transparent discussions amongst real men, keeping it real about life and relationships over really good food. Thank you guys again for sponsoring this event. We really appreciate it. And we just appreciate the fact that that was a Black male-owned brand that is supporting us, you know, because we don't oftentimes get that type of support from our brothers. So yeah, we definitely want to make certain that their shout out is heard. So now I'm going to bring to the stage Miss Shantice Lady Flame Cheatham. Am I saying it correctly?
Yes. Hi, everyone. How are you doing?
So let me read Shantice's bio really quickly, and then I'll let her take over. Originally from the West End, Oakland city of Atlanta, Georgia, Lady Flame began her music career at age 9, and despite a challenging upbringing and time in Oak Hill group home, found guidance from music mogul Miss Deborah Atney. Accepted into North Atlanta High School's magnet program, she later transferred to South Atlanta High, becoming a single parent and high school dropout at 17. Moving to Montgomery, Alabama to support her ailing mother, she channeled her pain into music while balancing GED classes, 12-hour work shifts, and raising two daughters. Launching the successful Hype Mike Radio podcast led to interviews with notable figures like Nick Cannon and Senator John Ossoff. At 20, she founded Hype Mike Artist Development Agency and earned a BA in journalism, followed by a master's in 2021. Her book, Being Lady Flame, Life Behind the Headlines, details her struggles and journey to healing, is set for a re-release in fall 2024. Shantice is speaking on freeing yourself from life challenges. And I will let you take it over.
Hi, everyone. How are y'all doing? My name is Lady Flame 11. As she mentioned, just thank you for having me. Thank you for let me be a contributor to the magazine and to the brand as well. I greatly appreciate it. I just want to touch bases on a few things. You know, it was an amazing lineup today. Shout out to all the lineup that came through and shared their story and motivation to everyone. Greatly appreciate that. But I just want to touch bases on resilience and never giving up, no matter what. You know, as the bio stated, you know, we all been through things, and the industry is male dominated. You know, I grew up in Atlanta, you know, early age, started doing music. And of course, as a female MC and a female singer, you know, it became very, I want to say tough and rough. So knowing who you are as an individual and what you bring to the table, and having resilience, all is going to play a part in freeing yourself through any adversity that you may come across. You know, I've been told so many different times where, you know, I wasn't going to see a certain age, you know, I wasn't going to see 21, or, you know, I can't graduate school because I'm a single parent, or, you know, things of that nature. And now, you know, I'm a first generation graduate. Yeah, never listen to, you know, other people. Always be resilient, stay prayed up, and always believe in yourself to make these moves, even if you're not even certain, you know, just praying on it, and moving forward. So this program, this segment is so influential and so important and needed right now, because nowadays we see so many people that are giving up, you know, their dream, their passions, their goals, all of those things because of, you know, outside influences, or because they lack the confidence, or, you know, they feel that, okay, I started this way, and, you know, my life is pretty much over. No, it's just beginning. You know, every second, every minute, anything can change in your life. You know, you just take lemons, and you make lemonade. Like we, you know, like my bio said earlier, you know, I got placed into a group home at an early age, me and my siblings, you know, and there we met Miss Deborah Atney, and she was very blunt, very, you know, down to earth, and she was very real. And, you know, that was the first introduction into the industry that we knew at that time, because, you know, it was, like I said, it was real, it was raw. And she's launched so many different careers, including her own son, which is Waka Flocka. So, you know, with that being said, no matter what your situation is, just know that, you know, it's always going to turn out good. You know, with Hype Mike Radio, I did a lot of internships and, you know, all of that, and they said, well, you don't have a lot of experience, so we can't put you on. And, you know, I was a certain weight, I was 370 pounds, so, you know, I was definitely honestly getting you know, discriminated against a lot because of my weight. So, you know, I was like, forget it. You know, I'm about to start this tour. I'm going to do whatever I got to do. Y'all gonna know my brand. You know, so, you know, with that being said, I launched Hype Mic Radio, start going around doing podcasts, start doing sponsorships, start conducting business, and learning the ins and out. I think Nick Cannon is the one who pretty much said, the opportunity comes, you know, you got to be prepared. You got to be ready. So just being ready, staying prepared, staying prayed up, and having that resilience is something definitely that's going to be able to free you. And it freed me as well through a lot of hardships, through rape, through homelessness, through divorce. You know, I had to free myself and to get that closure because I know I wanted to move forward, not only as in a journalist or someone in media, but I wanted to move forward as a woman, and just for my daughters, you know, just being able to contribute to the culture itself. You know, you have to love what you do, no matter what it is, especially in entertainment and in media. It's going to be ups and downs. It's going to be win, lose, or draws. It's going to be, hey, this didn't go that way. Let's try it another way. Always be ready to reinvent yourself, your ideas, staying close to who you are at your core, never changing. You know, that is what's going to keep you alive. And like I said, staying prayed up. So if I could leave you with any advice today, it would definitely be freeing yourself and just being who you are at your core is going to be beneficial in any arena, in whether it's journalism, music, industry, anything you want to do, pray about it, continue to move forward, reinvent yourself, and have that reassurance and knowing that everything is going to be fine. Like I said, it was an amazing panel today, absolutely amazing. The women just spoke on some great things in empowerment, and we definitely want you all to take this time to just play it back, replay it if you need to, you know, just start reiterating some of the things that in the messages that you heard today, reiterating that in your day, because it's going to help you move forward tremendously. Like I said, not only my story, everyone has a story, you know, even if drawing strength from your story, you know, even if you have to do that, you know, just looking at it from a different perspective. So yes, and you know, like she said, Fancy said, being Lady Flame, Life Behind the Headlines is pretty much a book that I started, just highlighting those things, highlighting sleeping in the car, highlighting working with Tyler Perry, highlighting working at Hip Hop Weekly as a journalist, different people that I came across working with in the industry, alongside what I had to battle, you know, the day of working with them or behind the scenes, you know, that nobody really knows about. So it's always a challenge, you know, and just having that perseverance, never giving up, and staying true to your core is what definitely going to take you so far, so very far. And yeah, and just freeing yourself. And I just greatly appreciate the opportunity to speak with you all today. And yeah, whatever else you need, you already know where I am. It's at Lady Flame 11 on IG. I work with the magazine as well. You know, I'm not hard to find. Like she said, the last speaker, hey, you just Google or use all types of services. But yeah, I'm not hard to find. But definitely, if you don't take anything from today, just stay prayed up, having that resilience, and always believing in yourself, no matter what the circumstances look like, is what's going to definitely carry you through.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Lady Flame. I admire you for sharing your story and your transparency, and also just because I know at one point you said you were I can't remember the exact number, but I just commend you on your weight loss journey as well, and just how you've been able to juggle everything on top of all the challenges that you faced, as we stated in your bio. So thank you for taking the time out. I know that you have a busy day as well. So you told everybody where to find you. So I think that's kind of everything. So I'm gonna go ahead on and take you off. All right. So yeah, y'all, that is basically the end of Free Yourself. I, for once, did not have something planned at the end. I knew I didn't really have much planned at the end, but I just wanted to make certain, I guess, that I plugged the magazine. And I realized I did not introduce myself as the award-winning editor-in-chief and publisher of SwagHer Magazine. My name is Fancy. I have been your hostess this evening. As you all know, like normally I try to have somebody else to host, but I had to basically use who we could afford, and we could afford me. So there I was. And I hope that you all have had a great time. And that you're encouraged, empowered by the words that you've been receiving, that you continue to speak life over yourself. There were so many other angles that I wanted to address with Free Yourself, but we didn't have the speakers for that. But hopefully next year, we're able to do this event again, and then also be able to incorporate some other speakers as well. But I love what all the speakers that we had this evening spoke on. Everything I agree with. And then by Chris Natha being a life coach, a lot of the times I looked at her and see if she was like in the background, and she was agreeing. I was like, okay, yeah, that's legit. That's legit. And though nothing really sound, but it was just neat to be able to see somebody who specializes in this sort of thing, the aspect of freeing yourself, actually, agreeing with the other life coaches and everything. So I appreciate that. I see Dr. Tina J. Ramsey said, thank you for sharing. Thank you, Dr. Tina. And Khadijah said, awesome show. Thank you so much, Khadijah, for tuning in. So I want to make certain that you all are familiar with our website, where we publish news stories every day. You can find us at https / I don't know, y'all. It's in the comments. If you hit the link in the comments, you can find our website. And it's not that I don't know, but trying to read like all the / stuff be getting on my nerves. However, if you check in the comments, you can find our website. We also have our SwagHer PR site, because we do offer public relations services, which include event and email marketing, as well as content creation and media outreach. So if you are in need of any of those services, you can also check out our swagherpr.com website, whereas we focus on all things PR and marketing. So thank you all again for tuning in. Please, please, please share this video broadcast with your network. If they didn't get a chance to watch it live, suggest that they watch the replay, because we're trying to, where our goal is to at least get 2,000 views in this video. I think it is definitely 2,000 views worthy. And I know that we have a strong community here. So I ask that you all chip in, even if you only watch a few minutes of it. Just, we appreciate you. And peace and blessings, and y'all have a great evening.